name's Alexandra and I'm a first year pre-service teacher at Griffith University. I recently had the great opportunity to participate in a 2-week observational placement in a high school context. When undertaking this experience, I was able to observe a variety of educational policies which contributed to my understanding of teacher pedagogy and practice and allowed me to reflect on my own emerging teacher identity. These policies include the Inclusive Education Policy, the Advancing Partnerships Parents and Community Framework, and the Leadership Strategy 2020 to 2022. Firstly, the Inclusive Education Policy aims to provide a more inclusive state education system for all students. The policy focuses on all students having access to and being able to fully participate in learning, both alongside their peers and supported by teaching strategies and adjustments to cater for individual learning needs. This policy aligns with various Australian professional standards for teachers. However, one specific example of this is Standard 1.3, students with diverse linguistic, cultural, religious and socio-economic backgrounds. This standard aligns with the policy by ensuring teachers demonstrate teaching strategies that respond to the strengths and needs of students from various backgrounds. One example in which the Inclusive Education Policy was used in a school context, from my experience, was by providing free breakfast days. As the school I attended was in a predominantly low socioeconomic area, many students came to school without the privilege of eating breakfast. By including this opportunity 3 times a week, teachers ensured that students would arrive to class without the distraction of hunger so they could focus on their learning alongside their peers. Over the next 3 years, the Inclusive Education Policy will positively influence my emerging teacher identity by guiding my ability to promote inclusive education strategies within the classroom, which is wholly representative of my teaching philosophy. I will do this by engaging in professional development opportunities revolving around the development and understanding of how to incorporate inclusive education in my teaching practice. Secondly, the Advancing Partnerships Parents and Community Framework aims to recognise parent and caregiver roles in student education by providing teacher support for building and maintaining respectful relationships. There are 5 elements within this framework, which include communication, partnerships with parents, community collaboration, decision-making and school culture. These outline how teachers can actively facilitate positive relationships between students, schools, parents, carers, community organisations, stakeholders and other community members. One significant APST standard that aligns with this policy is Standard 7.3, Engage with Parents and Carers. This APST highlights the importance of teachers developing effective relationships with parents and carers to benefit student learning outcomes. One example of this policy I saw in context was a Parents and Citizens Association meeting. A P&C meeting involves parents, carers and community members coming together to work in partnership with the school to promote interests, facilitate development and achieve positive outcomes for students. Through this active collaboration, positive relationships are established and student outcomes are positively influenced. Over the next 3 years, this framework will influence my emerging teacher identity by providing me with the toolset I need to collaborate with parents and carers to facilitate positive student learning and well-being. Finally, the Leadership Strategy 2020 to 2022 aims to recognise the importance of teacher contribution to student development by highlighting the leadership impact they have across their role. The purpose of this strategy is to facilitate a school culture of empowered leadership roles which support the quality, quantity and diversity of leaders across all departments and contexts for the benefit of student learning outcomes. This policy directly aligns with APST Standard 6.2, Engage with Professional Learning and Improve Practice. This standard outlines the importance of teachers participating in professional learning, including leadership development, to update practice targeted to professional needs and school priorities. One example of this policy in context which I saw during my experience was weekly department meetings run by heads of departments. These meetings promoted effective classroom leadership strategies that teachers can use to support student learning outcomes. Over the next 3 years, this policy will influence my emerging teacher identity by allowing me to prioritise leadership professional development to form strategies that can direct my teaching pedagogy and practice. In doing this, over time, I will progress my teaching standards from a graduate level to a leader level, which will highlight my professional development within a leadership context.